to my channel. Now we're going to be starting off with my Clinique Moisture Surge to moisturize the face. And now we're using these Sephora's Luminous Drops to give the face more of a glow, since it is the summertime and we want to look all nice and dewy and glowy. So that is what I'm doing right here. Make sure that you're massaging everything onto the skin. So now I'm using that Infallible Pro foundation, and then also the Infallible Glow one. I like mixing both of them because one gives me a little bit more coverage, and then the other one gives me that nice dewy glow that I'm looking for. And then I'm also using my Zoeva buffer brush to buff everything in. You can definitely use a beauty blender or any other kind of brush that you guys love to use. I like using that one. So now I'm using my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot to prime the eyes. Now this is a very important step. You want to make sure that you're priming the eyes, that way the eyeshadows last all day. So now I am using a white shadow to set the primer in place. You can use any white shadow that you guys have laying around. So now I'm grabbing a fluffy brush and I'm starting off with that kind of light brown shade and mixing it a little bit with the orange tone shade, and I am working that on the outer V, as you guys can see right here. Just building the color up. Make sure that you're blending out the edges and taking your time, just blending everything out, making sure that everything is nice and seamless. So now I am grabbing that cream shade with a little bit of that orange tone shade, and I'm just working that on the upper portion of the eye to make sure that everything is nice and blended on, like I said. The majority of those circle eyeshadows are Makeup Geek, and then the orange one is from Buxom. I will leave the name down below for you guys. So now with a flat brush, I am grabbing a little bit of the concealer, and so now we're going to be carving out the crease area. So this step, you want to make sure that you guys are, you know, doing it nice and careful. I'm just going a little bit above my natural crease. I didn't go too far up, nothing too crazy. I just wanted it, you know, to just clean this area up for the next shadow that we're going to use. So now with another flat brush, we are going to grab a gold tone shadow. This one is from the Lorac Pro palette. It's kind of like a lighter gold. It's nothing too intense in your face, but it's very pretty actually. So like I said, it's going to give you that nice glowy look. So now with that blending brush that we used in the beginning, we're just going over the outer portion of the edges, making sure that both of the shadows meet together. So now with a NYX white liner, but before we use the liner, I am grabbing a little bit of a kind of orangey, golden, yellowy pigment, and I am applying that in the inner portion of the eye, as you guys can see right here. So now we're going back in with the liner. Now you have to be very, very careful where you're placing this liner. That's why it was very important to do the concealer first, because it kind of gives you a guideline where you want to place the liner. That way it's a little bit easier for you guys. Now this liner that I'm using from NYX, it does crack. So that was the downside of it, but it was a reasonable price. But like I said, you know, just take your time and just do it perfect. So I did apply a little bit of the white liner underneath the brows, and then I also did like these little circles on this outer portion of the brows. To give it more of a festival look. You guys can definitely skip that part on just going with like the regular white liner on the eyes. So now I am going in with a black liner. This is from NYC, one of my favorites. Now with the liner, we're not going too thick, we're going a little bit thin because the star of the show is basically the white liner and then the eyeshadows. We do not want to overpower that with a big, thick old black wing. So now with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, I am going to place this underneath the eyes with a little bit of the Maybelline concealer. The Maybelline one, I don't like placing it directly underneath my eyes because it does crease. I don't like that. But I like placing it on the other parts of my face. So that's what I'm doing here. Now with my favorite Stila brush, I'm just blending everything out and making sure that everything is seamless. I also like to go over it with my finger to just make sure that I am melting the product onto the face with the warmth of my fingers. So now I am grabbing my ambient Hourglass palette and I am setting the concealer. With my NARS palette, I'm going to be grabbing the bronze shade and I'm going to bronze up the face. Bronzing my big old forehead, as you guys can see. I know I tend to use this palette on a lot of my videos, but so worth it. It just has some really pretty colors inside of it. Oh my goodness. So right here, I apply the darker shade to contour my face. And I went a little too heavy on the brush, as you guys can see. So now I'm just going back in with the fluffy brush and I'm just blending everything out. So I'm just contouring the cheekbones. Now with that pinky blush, I am just applying that on the apples of the cheeks. For some reason, the lighting here kind of went off a little bit. So now I am contouring my nose with one of my favorite brushes. This is from Bare Minerals. It is a double-sided brush. It works magic on the nose, I swear. So now with, I believe that color is called Cocoa Bear. I am placing that underneath the eyes with that orange tone shade. And we're just going to smoke out the bottom lash line. So I'm applying a little bit of black eyeliner. So now I'm going over with that pigment that we first used just to kind of intensify the colors. I don't know what I was thinking with this tiny little brush, but I am using Becca Moonstone to highlight the face. Now I'm using my NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. The color is Morocco. As you guys can see there, I was kind of thinking about it if I wanted to use a bright orangey tone. But at the end, it really worked out. I applied a lip gloss on top of that, which was Anastasia's Sunset Strip. And it came out very pretty. Now, this will be the end of the tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe, and please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.